all Black Americans should move to Africa? Do what?
A prominent Black podcaster is sending out a call to all Black Americans to leave the United States and head to Africa, all in response to the verdict in the Carmelo Anthony case.
Okay, all right.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's a simulation, guys. It's a simulation.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about podcaster Larry Reed. Now, he's a prominent Black podcaster, and he's now calling for a mass exodus from the United States. He's telling all Black Americans it's time to take every single benefit you can get from this country and then head on over to Africa. Where?
Wow, so patriotic. I wonder if people like this actually think.
I don't know, but let's listen to the clip.
And I want you to begin to think about this America and the white people problem that we have.
The white face.
I'm going to make a statement. We know that Martin Luther King, the beginning of his work was all about integration. We do know that later on that did change.
So hold on a minute. I got to interrupt him right here because I mean Martin Luther King's dream was for his children to be judged by the content of their character rather than by the color of their skin. People like this judge white people by the color of their skin instead of the content of their character. So, sir, you are making Martin Luther King's roll over in his grave. You know who agrees with me? Martin Luther King's niece. I made a video about it. She's based. She's really based. She's like, "What? We need to stop with the racism against white people." I'm like, yes, you can tell it's in her blood. But this scumbag.
Integration has had great benefits. I think now, unless you must stay in America, unless you are supposed to be in the USA. Otherwise, if you're Black, integration has had great benefits. I'm telling you, and I'm saying this as a collective, let's drain this place of its benefits.
Spoken like a true American. Check that out. Ooh, man. How many generations this guy hasn't assimilated yet?
And make our mass exodus and go home and build.
Okay, by go home and build, he means head over to Africa. And
I mean, please, people like him, totally, go. We're going to stay here. Okay, I'm going to stay here. All white people are going to stay here. Asians, we're going to stay here. People like Black people like Amala are going to stay here. Instead, people like you, oh yeah, absolutely, take that play, agree with him.
I was really confused by this whole conversation. My first question is, where in Africa are you talking about?
Wakanda.
Africa is a continent.
But before we continue, let's have a word from today's sponsor. Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They knew their platforms could contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but did not share those risks while prioritizing profits. The recent historic verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. If you or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health struggles, you should hear this. Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they caused. You can use the link in my description or scan the QR code to take a short quiz to see if you qualify for a case. You may be entitled to a potential recovery of up to $1,000.
And a very, very large continent at that. And so often in these conversations, especially amongst activists and left-leaning people, this idea of going back to Africa is just like this amorphous thing that's floating around in the heads of people because of the transatlantic slave trade and where Black people came from in this country. And instead of really laying out what you mean by go back to Africa, they just sort of throw it out. Like that's our...
Amala, I'm going to tell you, I think they do mean Wakanda. I do. I mean, what I would suggest is Congo. Why? Well, because that's where Helen is from, you know, Christopher Nolan's Helen of Congo. Fantastic. Splendid. That's what I would suggest. But regardless, they mean Wakanda. They do, because they have this imaginary version of Africa in their head that I think resembles Wakanda. Fantasy. But this is for clowns like him. If you are an African American, but you have strong connections and you would love to, not out of hatred for white people, but just because your own thing, you feel a call, a beckoning. and you're like, hey, I would love to visit or maybe relocate, connect with family members that I have never met before, do it. Like, and I don't mean it in a bad way, like get out of here. No, I mean, like, if that's what you want, visit, go, spend time, learn the original language, do all of that. And I think that's beautiful. Find a true connection with your ancestry. There is nothing wrong with that. But someone who motivates it as we have a white problem in this country, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Our homeland, that's where we're meant to be. Okay, where? Okay, when? Okay, what do you think the difference is going to be between there and the United States? I have a feeling once you get there, you will be longing to be back in America. There's virtually no better place to be as any human being in the world, let alone a Black person, than the United States of America.
Would I agree with that statement? It's very American-centric, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure if I would agree with her on this. Not because I don't think that America... I love America. I did pass, as you know, my U.S. citizenship test. My son is American-born. My wife is American. I love America. I consider it my main country now. Like, I have loyalty to the United States of America more than I do for Italy. And before you say anything about that, yeah, that's a requirement for becoming a citizen, by the way. Here's the thing, though. You wouldn't really know that. It really depends. Would it be the best place for Black people to live in America? It's kind of difficult for me to quantify that without proper comparative data. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you agree with her? I just don't know. So I'm not disagreeing for the sake of disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing because I have better data. I don't know. I don't know if it's true or if it's a very patriotic, American-centric position to have. I guess it also would depend because there are situations where, Black people are not treated well by police officers in certain areas, even though they're innocent. When they're not innocent, I don't give a f***. But when they're innocent, it's not. So I guess, I don't know. You guys tell me.
I think we function under this false assumption that Africa somehow has something more to offer Black people because of history in the transatlantic slave trade.
Maybe it would be like vibranium. Isn't that like the magical metal from Wakanda?
I mean, go ahead and try it. Move to Africa. See how you do. We did hear from one lady who tried that. I'm going to play her video.
Oh, let's go.
So, y'all, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bribery, the fraud, the scams, the too expensive, the not having no snacks, the not having no food, electricity, the hot water, the what's that called?
You know what?
Coming down. The animals and scorpions outside the house. It's big ass spiders. It's big ass lizards. Colorful lizards you ain't never seen before. All in the room with you, sleeping with you. All the people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich. So they trying to get more money off.
Africa is a huge continent with lots to offer, many different people. I really do wonder what people are talking about when they say that Black Americans need to go to Africa and what they're expecting to experience. In many areas, there's lots of crime, lots of violence, lots of corruption, and unlike America, no recourse to seek justice. And we'll get to how that factors.
I guess that also depends on which nation in Africa. But yeah, definitely it's going to be a massive downgrade. It is what it is. I mean, you can say it's an injustice. You can say that it would be nice for all of us everywhere in the world to live equally comfortable lives. It's not a thing of reality, at least of this fallen world that we inhabit. So you have to be cognizant of the fact that depending on where you go, but most likely everywhere really, it's not going to be comparable to the kind of comfort that you have here in the United States. And when that lady said she would rather deal with the racists in America, well, here's the thing though, a lot of those racists, they exist, and a lot of other racists, they are not real. You've been told that every white person is racist, and that's not true. That's nonsense left-wing politics. Again, you can tell me I'm left-wing, Metatron. I don't believe in that bullshit. I understand it. Great. You're a good leftist. But what I'm saying is it is part of leftist dogma, at least in the American progressive sense, that there is no such a thing as a non-racist white. They say this. A lot of like these progressive women, white women, in fact, with blue hair and their nose ring, that's what they preach. It's on TikTok. I'm not saying every left-winger or anyone who is like left or center from an economic standpoint or social standpoint thinks this way, but I am saying it is a thing on the left. And it's bad because I think that a lot of the times you might think, I imagine, I mean, I'm not black, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I do see situations where people scream racism and it's not. So it's in their head. And I think that it would be great to clear that out. There are plenty of us who are not black, but are also not racist. And in fact, it is racist to assume someone is racist on the matter of, yeah, they lack melanin in their skin. I mean, come on.
Into the Carmelo Anthony case and the response, the insane response to it, might I add, in just a moment. But let's keep watching.
And go home and build. I repeat, integration has had great benefits.
He's not going to do it, by the way. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it because he's benefiting out of American capitalism. So he's just going to say this bullshit so that people, maybe some people will do it. Maybe most people won't do it. This is nonsense. It's just going to give him attention, but he's not going to do it.
Let's drain this place of its benefits and make our mass exodus and go home.
You do understand he's pushing for a scam. That's illegal. Like, you can't do that.
Home and build.
Allegedly.
See, civil rights did not make white people that are infected with whiteness stop being racist.
Please, I'm going to destroy him.
White people that are infected with whiteness. Imagine saying that about any other race.
Impossible.
Yet white people are the racist ones, not the Black Americans that are espousing these values and ideas. Let's truly try to work that through our brains. Who sounds more racist here? Him or the average white person here in the United States?
You know, she is based because of this, but the problem is that they tried to manipulate you through language because they have the support of academia. And having the support of academia means that they can use all the twisting and manipulation of people that, unfortunately, in my opinion, have forfeited their PhDs and all that. The doctorates should be stripped off of them because they are using it to do things such as, oh, it's not actually racism against white people because it's not systemic. And they will use what is effectively called semantic shift in order to change the meaning of words. They have done it with men can get pregnant. They're doing it with this, and it's just a justification to support oppression of a single dot group, aka white people. This is the reality. It is racism. It doesn't matter that you're trying to find your little bullshit, unless it's the oppressor class. Shut up.
United States of America? The answer is him.
They still raised racist children that run this country to this day. The Civil Rights Act just made social discrimination federally illegal in key areas of American life, housing, voting, and such. It changed what was lawful, what was punishable, and what rights Black Americans could legally demand and defend. That's it. And now, those rights at the federal level, there's an attempt to roll them back.
Who at the federal level is attempting to roll back the civil rights movement?
I told you this guy lives in Wakanda in his head.
Is attempting to strip Black people of their inalienable rights. Who exactly is attempting to do that? I need that to be really laid out for me so I can hear the argument that's being made here. Now, he claims that the racists of America's past have raised the racists of America's present. I think this is a clear insinuation that not only Austin Metcalf is racist, but his family is racist, the court system that...
And in other words, it's a way to, allegedly, my understanding of the forgiven data, it's a way to justify stabbing someone in the heart. I probably was a racist, so he deserved it. The white kid, right? Piece of shit. I swear, I can't stand people like this. I'm so glad that someone like Amala with a big platform with a lot of high numbers takes them down one by one, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Carmelo Anthony was put through is racist. The jury selection was racist. When in reality, the case and the verdict behind this case is proof that we have actual justice in this country. And had Carmelo Anthony stabbed another Black kid,
life in prison without the possibility of parole, I don't even want to hear it.
Which I guess nobody can fathom in their brains right now, given the racial dynamics of this case, you would want Carmelo Anthony in prison for what he's done. You would want the guilty verdict. But because it was a white kid named Austin Metcalf, people are suddenly up in arms and saying that there needs to be a mass exodus of Black people from the United States.
Please, every single one who thinks that, oh, just the white kid deserved it because he's white and the Black kid should not, whatever, it's self-defense, even though the other kid had zero weapons. if that's what you think, I hope you follow this advice. I do. I really do. Because it would make this country so much better if the racists actually left. Of course, I also mean that fragment of white people that are actually racist, although then again, anyone who is a citizen of this country has a right to live here. But we would live better if all the racists left. And the amount of racism you have on the left these days is unbelievable. Yes, there is racism on the extreme right. If you're left-wing, hear my point, because you're going to complain about this, but hear my point first. There is racism on the extreme right, and there is racism on the extreme left. Those people on the extreme right that are racist tend to be racist towards minorities, whereas people on the extreme left who tend to be racist are racist against white people. This is a fact. Now, having established this, the difference is that people who are not the extremist on the right, so the center right, the moderate right, they don't support the racists on the right that hate minorities. They don't. But people who tend to be on the center left, or liberals, progressives that are not all the way to the extreme, so left-leaning people, they do tend to support the anti-white nomenclature, even if they are more on the moderate side. And that's a massive distinction that has to be made here. There is too much justification. There are a lot of people on the right that, even though they are right of a center when it comes to social issues, tradition, preservation of cultural norms and all that kind of stuff, the moment you tell them, I only have a problem with this guy who is a piece of shit, I don't have a problem with him because he's black, they will say, oh yeah, of course, I don't have a problem with black people. It's the ones that are actually awful that I have a problem with. A lot of people on the right will say that. And then there will be the portion of them on the right that no, they actually hate black people genetically. But most of us don't agree with that. However, on the left, the split second you say the sickness of whiteness, a lot of liberals do this because it's been manipulated into finding an excuse for it. But there is a reason. Oh, it's not actually technically racism because it's not systemic, and a lot of people fall for it. How about we don't support any form of racism and we stop taking any version or justification for it? How about that for a TED Talk? If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth.